We start our journey by traveling through space far from the surface of the Earth. San Francisco, West America. We are now leaving planet Earth. Planet Earth and the orbit of the Moon. See the orbits of the inner planets. Spacecraft sent from Earth, New Horizons. Within the Oort cloud. Stars adjacent to the Sun. Interstellar cloud. Arms of the Milky Way. The Milky Way galaxy in which our Sun is located. We now see neighboring galaxies. Cosmic fabric. The theory proposed for research is that there are multiple universes and our universe to which we belong is a universe of an unspecified number of universes. The myth and mystery of the modern age has not yet been solved, despite the tremendous scientific and technological development. We have not yet found the answer to the puzzling question. Did God create man only in this vast universe? Or are there other rational creatures that watch us and send their chariots to study man and his development and conduct experiments on him? We live on a planet hanging in space that revolves around itself at a speed of 1,670 kilometers per hour. And revolves around the Sun at a speed of 110,000 kilometers per hour. And the entire solar system revolves around a stellar assembly consisting of more than 1 billion stars, like the Sun, called a galaxy, at a speed of 720,000 kilometers per hour. The question, and the difficult one to answer, is the planet Earth that bears this 90,000-year-old human civilization, which is almost identical to the time of the traces of Noah's Ark in Turkey? It is a very modest time in relation to the time of the universe, which reaches 13 billion years. Our galaxy, in which the Sun resides, has 100 billion stars like the Sun. There are approximately 6 billion Earth-like planets in our galaxy. And there is one Earth-like planet for every 5 Sun-like stars in the Milky Way. We now see our galaxy with the naked eye from the surface of the Earth. It is strange and confusing that the universe contains 200 billion galaxies like our galaxy. In the visible universe, of which only 50 are close to Earth. NASA has discovered 219 possible planets with plant, animal or human life. 7 of these new worlds are habitable, just like Earth. The Kepler telescope has discovered more than 4,000 habitable planets in our galaxy for a search trip that began from 1993 to 2020. This planet is rocky in composition, such as the nature of the Earth, at an appropriate distance from its star. It is not close, so the temperature rises due to the impossibility of forming organic life, or being far from it, so the temperature decreases to freeze. It is called the inhabited region around the star. The Kepler telescope was launched in 2009 to begin a journey in search of habitable planets thousands of light-years away from us. It is likely that planets of rocky formation and having an air envelope of water vapor is the closest possibility for the existence of some sane life. the Kepler telescope has found it difficult to discover all the planets revolving around the star, except for the planets that cut off the star's light on the telescope's line of sight only. When the planet passes in front of its star, it cuts off the light and reduces the intensity of the illumination. Where the telescope has a very accurate scale to measure and calculate the percentage of light intensity decrease. Nevertheless, he was able to monitor 4,034 planets suitable for living on. It was discovered that the majority of the size of the planets is between the size of Earth and the giant planets such as Jupiter, Neptune and Saturn. They were called the small Neptune planets. And every 1,000 planets, 49 of them are in the habitable zone. And there becomes the possibility of forming plant or animal life or sane life. This region is moderate in temperature, as the planet is not close to its star, so that the temperature rises to the point of evaporation of water, and it is not far to the point where water freezes. The strangest thing is that most of these stars that have planets revolving around them are the same size as the Sun or a little smaller. It falls under the classification of red dwarfs and has stronger radioactivity than our Sun. We find the Tarbest 1 system has 7 rocky planets, like Earth. It has an atmosphere and a magnetic field that protects it from deadly cosmic rays. The possibility of the emergence of life of an organic nature increases. In the future, man will be able to travel to these planets and establish colonies on their surface. Planets have been discovered that are 1 to 10 times the size of Earth. And even the wonder that there are planets completely covered with water. Planets have entire deserts without the slightest drop of water. Kepler 62f is one of the most Earth-like planets, 1.4 times the size of Earth. It revolves around a star between 4 and 7 billion years old. It contains liquid water and an atmosphere made of carbon dioxide. JLIS 66cc has a climate similar to Earth by 90% and a thick atmosphere with a percentage of CO2 gas similar to Earth's atmosphere. It is 22 light-years away and has 3 times the mass of Earth, and thus a greater gravity. Kepler 62 has a mass 1.6 times that of Earth and warm water and land of reasonable sizes. JLIS 581g is located in the constellation Libra, at a distance of 20.4 light-years. It is one of the most Earth-like planets. It contains seas, oceans, land, and moderate temperatures. Kepler 22b. Its diameter is 2.4 times larger than Earth's. The gravity of this planet becomes reasonable and the atmosphere is thick with a high percentage of carbon dioxide. Proxima Centrifuge b, one of the closest planets outside the solar system. It is a rocky planet, as it is located 4.22 light-years away in the cold region. After extensive studies, 100 planets were found suitable for human habitation. It has climatic elements like the land, and the research is still going on. Frank Drake helped Carl Sagan write a radio message. It was sent in 1974 by the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico. It was directed at the star cluster Messier 13, 25,000 light-years away. With the aim of opening contact with aliens and displaying human progress in technological sciences. The radio message was directed to this stellar assembly that includes hundreds of thousands of stars in its crouching planet, 25,000 light-years away from Earth. The radio message was directed to this. The radio signal was written in the oldest binary coding language, binary code. 0 indicates a pulse of low sound and number 1 indicates a pulse of high sound. We begin to interpret the letter now. The top line has the number symbols from 1 to 10, followed by the atomic numbers of hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus in purple. The constituent elements of the human genome are shown in green. The number of units of the human genetic strip in white. The 2 branches of the hereditary tape are in blue. The average height of a person in red. The 1974 population census is in white. The shape of the human being. The location of the Earth, the 3rd planet in the solar system, the color yellow. The shape of the dish of Orsaboa, who sent the message. The diameter of the dish digitally in white. The upper bar represents the number code, for example, the number 1. It consists of 4 vertical squares from bottom to top. The first check-marked box icon 1. The second square, 2 to the power of 0, equals 1. The third square, 2 to the power of 1, equals 2. For fourth square 2 to the power of 2 equals 4. The next bar represents the atomic number. Hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and finally phosphorus. They are the basic elements of the human genetic tape. Phosphorus atom, see how its number 15 was calculated. The next bar represents the symbols of the human DNA, deoxyribose, adenine, thymine, and guanine. Number of units and subform of the DNA strand. The last part of the letter represents the shape and height of the human being and the population census until the end of 1974. Then the location of the planet Earth, where we see man standing on the 3rd planet from the Sun. Then the Arecibo Observatory was towed. The graphics printed on wheat crops are the biggest evidence that they are made by extraterrestrial beings who have very advanced technology to make these mysterious designs. The strangest thing is that it appears next to the dishes of astronomical wireless observatories interested in sending and receiving wireless messages and searching for aliens throughout the universe. And this phenomenon began in the late 70s. We find that the content of the messages is encrypted and depleted of information, as it is considered a means of communication between aliens and the people of the Earth, and it is printed on the fields of wheat, corn and oats within a few minutes. The strange thing is that these geometric designs are drawn by light balls in broad daylight in a few minutes. Thousands of these creative engineering drawings have been spotted. It was observed that cell phones, cameras, and batteries stopped, and a feeling of dizziness, nausea, and headaches occurred due to the presence of a magnetic field inside, as well as the graphics, cameras, and batteries area. These are real shots of a wheat farmer, recorded with his voice, the moment the geometry was formed by light balls within a few seconds at 5 a.m. in August 1996 in England. August 2001, 2 painted messages appeared next to the Shepperton Observatory, one of which corresponds to the Arecibo message, which was sent in November 1974. The other is of the ancient human face printed on the wheat fields. We find the similarity of the two letters in a strange way. Now let's start comparing and explaining the differences. In the upper part, we find that the code numbers and the atomic number of the elements of the genetic tape match exactly. The difference is the addition of the element silicon with atomic number 14. The second difference is that the silicon atom has replaced the phosphorus atom of the phosphate compound, the component of the outer germline wall. The third difference in the repetition unit of the genetic tape of aliens is approximately 524,000 units more than that of humans. The fourth difference is that the average human is longer than the alien, by about 3 feet. The fifth difference is that the alien population is greater than the Earth's by about 5 billion in the year 2001 at the time the message was sent. Note that our Sun is about twice as large. We see humans living on one planet and aliens living on 2 planets and 4 moons of a neighboring planet. We also see the shape and diameter of the alien's transmission dish, which is twice as large as the diameter of the human transmission dish. The strangest thing is that a year before the aliens sent their message, we find that the shape of their transmission dish has been imprinted in the place of reply to Orsaboa's letter. We now see a drawing of the satellite dish next to the Shepperton Observatory, evidence confirming that the source of the message is one. It is clear that the aliens' message was in response to Arecibo's message. We also find that the drawing of the human image printed on the wheat field is very similar to the face of the Great Sphinx. The drawings on the wheat fields became the means of alien communication with the people of Earth by encoded binary language.
Hi, I am R71 from Zeta Reticuli.
They are the first words that have been decoded. To find out the decoding of the codes follow. Here we see the translation table from binary numbers to letters and words. The translation of the words is I. R7 from the Zeta network. It is a star cluster known as Zeta, about 39 light-years away from us. In the same way, the message engraved on the circular disc was translated with these words: I know we exist. We are your glorious neighbors. The reveal is coming. No more pain and cheating. The Zeta lattice system known to the people of Earth is composed of 3 stars. It is believed that the planets that revolve around Zeta 2. It is the home of aliens called the Greys who have been visiting our planet and kidnapping people for research purposes. One of the alien satellite dishes landed in Roswell, New Mexico, in June 1947. Bob Lazar told a journalist that the US government has an exchange program with an alien planet called Serpo, and that this planet is the home of aliens in the Zeta system, and so that the language engraved on the wheat fields becomes the language of messages from the aliens to the people of the Earth. This is a phenomenon that began a long time ago, and there is no way to deny the large number of UFO sightings. Things have become more confusing and people are divided between believer and denier completely and considering it a Hollywood fantasy. Although the messages painted on wheat fields continue all over the world. On December 26, 1980, a black, triangular object appeared near an American air base. Its location was determined by the base's radar. Approaching the UFO, Peniston found prominent geometric shapes on the surface of the body. And when he passed his hand over these shapes, they turned before his eyes into a board consisting of numbers in the well-known binary language. It was quickly written on a piece of paper and then decoded in the aforementioned way. The message says, "Humanity's exploration of planetary progress continues for the eyes of your eyes. Origin in the year 8100. To increase confusion and astonishment and increase questions. Are aliens coming from the future time of the year 8100? This rock with a mysterious geometric shape was found next to the first wreckage of a flying saucer in Roswell, America, in 1947. Let us find that this figure is drawn on the wheat crop in England on August 2, 1996. The geometric drawings are printed successively on the wheat fields in separate places, as a kind of opening channels to prove that these messages are not of earthly human origin. This drawing was a mystery to many. And by measuring the ratio of the lengths of the lines from the center to the end of the circle externally, it was discovered that it represents the mathematical constant. Or I the mathematical constant, and we find that the small dot represents the decimal point. Let us find that the language of mathematics has become a second language of communication, in addition to the binary language and spatial geometry graphics as well. Engineering mathematicians have stated that these drawings have mysterious secrets of advanced science, and not of human origin, but messages sent from a very advanced civilization from outside the Earth. It also has the property of the third dimension, so that the figure appears stereoscopic, although it is drawn in 2 dimensions. Engineering mathematicians have stated that these drawings to increase the confusion more than the answer to the question, is man the only rational creature in this universe? And the light takes its speed a journey in a time of 46 billion light-years until it reaches its end. There is a reference from the Holy Quran in verse 29 of Surat al-Shura clarifying this issue. And among his signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and whatever living creature he disperses in them. And he is able to gather them together when he wills. We find the word broadcast indicating the large spread of the animal in the heavens and the earth, as it is not confined to the earth only, but in other planets, and the word animal indicates that these beings are of material composition and have weight that makes the sound of the bear when walking, so it may be sane like a person or have an animal nature. Notice the accuracy of the expression in the words, and he is able to gather them if he wills, in the sense that God is able to gather man with these beings, and the word if. It indicates a kind of confirmation, and the possibility of its occurrence in the future is strongly contained at the time God wants it. The U.S. Department of Defense published a report on June 26, 2021. It confirms the possibility that the phenomenon of UFOs is coming from scientifically advanced civilizations from outside the Earth. But the topic has not yet been confirmed with final evidence, and direct and public contact with aliens has become a matter of time. Let us find that the global media is paving the way for world public opinion to accept this matter in the future. Glory be to God, I did not create this void, so we will be saved from the torment of the fire.